now. Bye, Azib.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, have a good time. Study hard. Oh, you guys look so excited. Bye.
Bye, Ed.
Take care. Watch your step now. Bye-bye. Everybody got everything? Don't leave anything behind. Bye-bye. Have a good time. Oh, Sarah. You dropped something. You're welcome, Sarah. Oh, hi there. My name's Ed. Now, I've been driving a bus in District 279 for a long time now. Well, let me see. I started back when the Twins won the World Series. First time. And that was but, 12 years ago now? And I've seen a lot of changes during that time. Well, the kids are pretty much the same, except that there's more of them, a few thousand more. And they're more diverse. There are elementary schools in the district with diversity levels around 50%. More kids take up more space. When I started, the district had 21 buildings. Now there are 27, including a new senior high. Now, the district has been working hard to keep up with the changing and growing student population. It's why I'm here, to show you what's going on. I'm going to take you on a virtual tour. Now, I would have been happy to take you on a real tour, but I know how busy all of you are. This tour will take less time and you won't have to trudge through the snow. So let your waffles settle, grab another cup of coffee, and sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm going to take you to every single school in the district and tell you everything I know about them. Don't worry, I don't have that kind of time either. This is Zanewood Elementary, one of the places where District 279 has found a new way to help kids learn to read.
Good. Cakes, people, and cookies. Look at the words.
I don't need to tell you that with funding so tight, there isn't a lot of extra help for kids who have problems with stuff like reading. And everyone knows how important reading is.
Pudding and brownies.
At Zanewood, a program called Success for All tries to prevent reading problems or nip them in the bud. What makes a difference for these kids is that they get 90 minutes of continuous classroom reading time. It's pretty intense. And the teachers have special training based on proven research. Parents are encouraged to get involved too. They spend time at home each evening reading with their kids. No! Oh, you caught me. But hey, it's a good way to pass the time. And, you know, I am getting pretty good at it. I guess the more time you spend with something, better you get. It's the same with school. More classroom time means more learning. There's probably some big, expensive government study that says that, but it seems like common sense to me. At Garden City Elementary, the district is using a grant from the Department of Children, Family, and Learning to provide kids with more classroom time. Here's how it works. Kids who need extra help and kids who just want to learn more can add on to their school day by coming early or staying late. During that time, members of the school staff help them work on what's been taught in the classroom or expand on what they've already learned. Anyone is able to participate with their parents okay. So, if your kid went to Garden City and signed up for both before and after school programs, the time they'd spend would add up to an additional 38 school days. And I'm happy to say they've worked it out so it doesn't upset the bus schedule. Programs like the two I've just mentioned are made available because of grant money and compensatory dollars. If that funding goes away, So do the programs. And that would be too bad, because these programs are working. How do I know they're working? Here at Osseo, you can see the results on those basic standards tests. Reading scores have really improved for 8th and 9th graders. One of the biggest improvements has been at Northview Junior High.
All right. Anybody else have any other ideas of things they might learn from reading this article?
Now, a couple of years ago, Northview had the lowest reading scores in the district, but scores have really gone up, thanks to 2 new programs at the school. One program pulls kids out of their regular English class for some special attention and reading. And another one, something, gives kids practical tips on how to improve their reading skills. Reading's important. You can see it right here in this article about the grad standards. Kids have to pass math and reading tests in order to graduate. Well, there sure has been a lot of stuff about graduation standards in the paper lately, almost as much as about our new governor. Well, maybe not that much. As I understand it, the graduation standards include those basic tests and something called the profiles of learning, which are a way to have kids show what they've learned. I guess there's some controversy about the profiles of learning, but I'm all for anything that helps kids learn how to get along in the real world. I don't need to tell you, employers expect a whole lot more these days. Anyway, the district is very involved in all this. They're devoting a lot of time to seeing that kids are prepared to meet both parts of the grad standards. To help our kids prepare for the basic skills tests, the district has 3rd through 8th graders take the Northwest Evaluation Association achievement level tests. These tests get progressively harder so teachers can see the growth of basic skills. If the tests show that a student needs help in math or reading, the teacher can give them some extra attention. The goal is to have all the kids pass the basic skills tests on the very first try. Now, I don't usually do this, but I'd like to drop these off. Chelsea left them on the bus, and boy, they look kind of new. I think she'd be in trouble if she lost them. These books are for the brand new language arts curriculum. I can't get used to these new expressions. Now it's language arts instead of English, and not the library, it's the media center. It's sort of like how split ends are now wideouts, and don't we have a dandy one in Randy Moss? Anyway, I guess the new language arts curriculum is a big deal. The district spent a lot of time selecting the content and training the staff. I mean, there was a warehouse full of materials for kids and teachers that were shipped to buildings this fall. The stuff in the new curriculum was chosen specifically to help kids meet the grad standards. Tests and programs to help improve performance in reading and math. Things I've talked about so far are pretty easy to understand. Something that's a little harder to explain is the district's commitment to shared decisions. I don't know all the ins and outs, but the idea is to give the people in the trenches, teachers, students, even parents, more voice in the decisions that affect them. So far, 14 buildings have begun the transition to shared decisions, and the rest will be there by the end of this year. The big guy here, the superintendent, really supports shared decisions. So the district has a real commitment to it. No more having all decisions come from the top down, if you know what I mean. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks, bye-bye. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my Wolves tickets, for canceled games. With all the money that's being tossed around, you'd think the NBA could get its act together. I'll tell you this, they could learn something from us. I'm pretty impressed with how resourceful District 279 is with its money. But to continue to meet student needs, 279 needs more than resourcefulness. It needs more resources. The budget for 279, like other districts throughout the state, hasn't kept up with inflation, not to mention the growing demands on the district. When you don't have enough money, cuts have to be made. Okay, that's pretty obvious. I can hear the kids on my bus saying, well, duh. But anyway, the district has made cuts in lots of programs and services. The administrative staff has been cut by a whopping 15%. Hey, I'm a taxpayer. I think there's something good about a leaner, meaner school system. But I'm also in a position to see that there are programs and services being cut that are really important. And we all know how our new governor feels about class sizes. I know that the district is working hard to be responsible with its funding. For instance, they have a new annual budget process called program-based budgeting, where programs and services are ranked and funded according to their importance in relation to our mission: to be a school district that prepares kids for the future. But what happens when you start cutting things that everyone agrees are important? Unfortunately, it's come down to that. And that's why the district is asking the legislature for more money. Now, there's a lot of jargon surrounding the issue, increasing the basic education formula and all that. But the bottom line is that the district needs more money to be able to provide its students with the kind of education they deserve. Exactly what the district is asking for is spelled out in the Osseo Area Schools legislative platform. You folks, the people with the purse strings, can read it yourselves, but I can tell you a little about what they're asking for. They want increases that keep up with inflation, more help for high-need schools in the district, greater financial support from the state for all levies, 100% reimbursement from the state when extra money is spent for special education and on students who need help with English, and money to upgrade technology. I know that the business of deciding who gets what is very complicated, and I'm sure it's hard to make decisions that affect good programs for 2 full years. But I've seen how District 279 has been struggling to make ends meet and to make sure that kids in the district meet the graduation standards. And now you've seen some of what's going on too, in schools like Zanewood, Garden City, and Northview. And you've heard a little about how our new curriculums are designed to support the grad standards and our move towards shared decisions. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this virtual bus tour. I know it was less painful than the real thing, and I got you back in time. When you folks are making your decisions up at the Capitol, I hope you'll remember the efforts that are being made in my school district. But also remember this: without additional funding, District 279 is going to have to make deeper cuts. Cuts that compromise the education of the kids in the district. And there's nothing virtual about that reality. Well, duty calls. Maybe I'll see you again next year. In the meantime, listen to what my buddy Chris Richardson has to say. And do me a favor, will ya? Be careful when you're crossing the street. Hi, guys. How was it today? Pretty good? You ever did? Hi, Aziz. Hi. Have you got both your mittens? Well, that's good.